Welcome back.
Hello.
We're doing it. We're doing more Higurashi. Things are going badly for everybody.
What do you mean? Nothing's going wrong.
People are being grabbed by the hair, apparently. Shion is just like hanging there.
What? It's just like the last few arcs if you watch those, Shion.
I have the entire first season on Higurashi on Blu-ray.
Can you believe that they put the different name for the second season?
Oh, she did.
That sure was an episode introduction.
That sure was impactful. I really felt the tension of that.
I don't know. I thought that was actually pretty alright.
I don't know. It was fine. I feel like the killing of Oreo could have been a little bit more intense there. But, hey, no, it's fine.
There are fewer decisions at this point in the series that are surprising me about the pacing.
Sure.
Like, I think I've become more comfortable with how they're doing it.
I feel like maybe showing a little bit more of Oreo's, like, fear or maybe a few more moments of trepidation there might have been good, but,
What would that really have added, though?
I don't know, just like a bit more impact, because she just kind of fell over. I don't know. I feel like it was just a really
I feel like the anticlimax is like a point to it though. Like not every scene has to build to like this intense over the top moment. I think that the like it's happened, the tension's off now is like a valuable thing to have in that scene.
I suppose. I guess we got plenty of time for Oreo to at least, get completely destroyed.
Yeah, like it depends on what they do from here, but I think that one of the things that the anime has been doing very well the whole way through is that it's been using moments of lack of tension probably better than the VN did. Like, its tense moments aren't as strong, but its, loose moments are much better. What is that face?
She's being menacing. Don't mock her menacing face, all right? Not everyone's as good at it as us. Look at that. She's so scary.
I feel very comfortable doing, like, very insane voices, but I've never, I've never acted insane, like, physically.
No? It's good fun.
Well, let me rephrase that. Like, I don't think I have quite the same control of my face when it comes to, like, looking deranged as I do the sound of my voice.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I have some experience with that sort of thing, and I had a great time doing it, but I wouldn't do it all frequently. I think that in order to, like, get the proper control to, like, look properly insane and, like, do all that sort of stuff, get all the nuances right, you really have to spend a lot of time, like, getting into character and, like, learning how to, like, portray it properly, that sort of shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's like...
to, like, really get Stanislavski up in there.
It's like how, it takes a very specific kind of skill and intelligence to portray a dumb character authentically.
Sure.
Like,
her face.
This is terrible.
Just don't.
It's just terrible.
It's over too. Is it done? Are we done here?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Her butt. Look, at least her butt is well animated, okay? Her butt is officially more well animated than her face. I approve.
What is going on? I love that it looks like her blush is like glowing in the dark.
Yeah. She's a source of light. Literally. I do like that we're like taking our time with this though. We didn't just like zoom through this and say, I killed Oreo and then I went out on the town. Like Miyakashi, I think, has the most episodes, and so we get the most time to like sit with Shion here at least.
Was that a fucking pun?
Are you a yandere?
This is terrible.
I mean, that's basically what's happening here.
Come on, just hurry up. Just tip it down the well.
She's got to have her little tantrum, okay? She's going to have her little...
Thank goodness they once again animated the shadows on her butt.
That's what is important. You need to see the creases on her butt so you understand the form of her buttocks. That's what's important here, okay? Have you watched Higurashi? That's the whole point of the story.
It's true.
My butt's a king.
None of the emotions in this story matter. It's all about the romance.
Are you telling me? You told me you can't have emotions when thinking about butts? Well, anyway. Get out of here.
I mean, no, not really.
Okay. Whatever, dude.
If you have emotions when you're looking at butts, it's just made up.
Okay. It's all lies?
It's just lies.
It's all
lying
Usa
to
does?
yourself.
It's all yandere lies. Done. She just
Oh my goodness, is this foreshadowing the beginning of Arc 6 right now?
It absolutely is. He's in that like coffee shop thing. Oh, it's amazing. Oh, pink bag.
Pink bag. That's the fucking
it's the
phone, you idiot.
Oh, I thought it was a bag. I was so excited.
That's an excellent question. Fucking answer it. God damn it.
Don't answer it. It's a trap. It's a trap, Higurashi. Once again, we're at the point where we're now seeing Keiichi's events from Watanagashi, but from Shion's perspective, as she leaves him with an impending sense of crisis over and over again.
She better fucking say it.
I don't think she will.
She better fucking say it.
I don't think she will. He's left with an impending sense of crisis, at least, but I don't think she said it. We don't get that famous line. Just like we won't get bitch and Satoshi.
Was that actually iconic at all, or is that just us reacting to the line?
I mean, it's mostly you.
Right.
It's mostly you. But yeah, that's just a line.
I was trying to give you a little bit of credit, but you just threw it aside. Is my credit worthless to you?
Look, sometimes I just gotta prop you up because I know you don't get it very often on the show. You're often dragged down by me, by the story, by the audience. Sometimes, Felix needs a little bit of a win. But I give you that one. You're welcome.
It's great complaining for 18 some episodes about there being no internal monologue and then immediately going, man, internal monologue's boring when they actually give it to us.
Well, I feel like it's because they're the actual interesting stuff is happening in the background while the monologue is happening. I don't know.
Internal monologue does just suck.
Yeah.
There it is. Oh, there's the thinger.
You flipped her kill switch.
I'm not gonna
comment on anything about any Y words.
Inappropriate and cruel.
Yeah. That's what we're known for on this show, being inappropriate and cruel.
That is true.
You more cruel and me more inappropriate. It makes sense. That's why we work so well together. Changed her voice too. Oh my goodness.
Quite drastically.
It's almost like she's a different person.
That's nonsense.
She's like some kind of demon. Oh.
They have baths in the morning. They're filthy.
They're disgusting. They sleep in their filth. Could you imagine that? There was like a divide in the town of like people who shower in the morning and who showers at night. Like, get out of here.
Dude, I had a fucking shower last night and then got up and went about my day without having a fucking bath in the morning.
Yeah.
And I've been feeling awful all day. Oh. The Japanese just do it wrong.
It's no good. I almost left the house this morning without having my morning shower, but I decided I'd take the later bus, be 5 minutes late to work, and be clean. And I think it paid off. Feels so
if
much
only
cleaner.
we didn't have, droughts here in Australia and didn't have to worry about how much water we use.
If only we just shower every time of the day. Morning and night.
Just gonna pretend I didn't fucking hear that.
Mr. Tomitaki and
Mr. Tomitaki.
Mr. Tomitaki. Mr. Tomitaki, I want to talk to you.
It's like this is why when we fucking translate things into goddamn English, we should get rid of the honorifics as much as we can.
It's true. Yeah, I know. I was chatting to someone about Kikonia. Someone was like complaining that they took honorifics out, which was interesting to see.
Rubbish.
Yeah.
It's a good choice. Shout out to Witch Hunt. Good people.
It's true.
I don't know if I've quite reached the point where I can call Chrono Trigger friend, but we do chat.
There you go.
Let's go.
Welcome back to the thing.
It's the same episode.
I know. But, welcome back to the next episode, the next party episode.
Oh, I'm going to cut that.
Okay.
But I can't cut that now because it's a bit.
It's true.
Fuck. That's why we just can't talk to each other.
It's true. I can't say anything without fear of deadly reprisals from the chat.
It's kind of odd. I feel like I remember arcs 1 through 3 better, even though we did them so much longer ago.
Yeah. Maybe. I know you've had more time. You've had more time to go over them, I suppose.
Yeah, I feel it's also that we did Miyakashi since I started working full time.
This is true. That is when it began, the Great Crunch. The Great Crunch of 2019. How'd you learn how to operate this stuff? It's not that complicated, I guess. It's just like a winch lever situation, but like, did somebody teach her how to use this? Did Kasai teach her?
I don't know.
Are there like manuals lying around that like tell you how to operate the devices? Like Sonozaki's first torture device. How to? Like, what's going on there?
I mean, I feel like most torture devices would have existed pre-general education in the first place.
It's true,
and thus wouldn't be particularly complicated mechanisms.
I suppose so.
Like, this
Even
is
a child
just
could
a strap
do it.
with a chain and a winch.
No, I mean, I agree, but still, like, it's... I feel like there should be locks and, like, I don't know, some kind of... Something to stop kids from just walking in the torture chamber and using them.
You mean the two massive fucking doors and the fact that it's hidden?
No, more than that. More than that. Don't let Shion use Iron Maiden.
Have we covered the fact that Shion didn't know that this existed until recently?
It's terrible.
He seems really confident considering his situation right now.
Yeah. Look, he's a ballsy guy, you know? He's an old man, but he's got guts. Guts and balls. If only
That's
Oreo
a good question. You'd make a great journalist.
If only Oreo was around.
That is a very peculiar way of setting that up.
It's kind of cool. I like the the backlit like look they're giving Shion here. I would comment on that, but I'm not really sure what I could add to a woman railing against the bars of the cell that her twin sister is held in.
Here, let me do the typical React channel thing. Whoa, that went from 0 to 100 real quick.
Oh my goodness, she's gonna kill someone. Crazy person. What? Done.
There we go. We've done it. Our reactions.
We've become a reaction channel.
What the fuck?
Those transitions. They're always so comical. Because you know that she can't actually be doing that, or else Keiichi would see it. It's impossible. Have you not been reading Ryuki's story, Higurashi, about repentance and sin?
I don't think Rika's into VNs.
No, I think, look, Rika's totally into VNs. She's read Higurashi. That's the whole premise. Straight up what's happening right now. Shion needs to read Higurashi.
Oh, I see what we're getting at here. Yeah, no, she doesn't seem like she'd be into it either.
Why not?
It hits too close to home.
She needs to learn about the power of friendship and forgiveness.
Doesn't she already do that at the end of this arc?
Maybe that's what happens. Maybe that's what happens when she, like, falls from the building. She, like, sees Higurashi played in her mind. All 300 hours of it.
Just all at once.
Yeah. I don't believe in the supernatural in this murder mystery, Rika.
That's good.
Throw her on the ground.
Shion would be able to solve a fair play mystery, it seems. I'm confused.
Why are you confused?
Is she just telling Rika that she's going to murder her?
I think so.
Well, it sure is a fucking amateur move.
But otherwise, why would Rika even go to Shion Sasaki residence?
What is happening right now?
Why would she even go there if she didn't have the whole plot spelled out?
I know what's happening, and I'm still not following what Shion's monologue is going on about.
She's just being overtly, like, declarative about everything for the sake of us, and...
Whoa!
She got a knife. She ready to go to war. Well, that is a face. This is my notice to evict you from this house. You will come with me now. I am the Rika police.
It just looks so fucking careless. It's like a full second there.
Oh, like, poor Rika. What is she trying to do? Who knows? She's trying to maybe throw you off guard. Now, don't reveal. God damn it, anime.
Don't
give
reveal
us the
what?
close-up of, like, Rika's serious face. Get out of life.
I don't even think that's what that's supposed to be.
I'm pretty sure that's what that is.
Well, no.
It's
That shot,
being like,
that shot, absolutely. But, like, the whole scene of them walking in her matching footsteps.
Yeah.
Why can't that just be a game? It's just a fucking kid's game.
I mean, because Rika has pepper spray or whatever the fuck that was. She's clearly trying to lull Shion into a false sense of security so she can do this. Don't worry, Shion. It's just a marker. She's just trying to draw Hinamizawa's biggest dunce on your face. Don't worry about it.
That's true. I cannot argue with this whatsoever.
I wouldn't argue.
I feel like that line wasn't necessary.
Nah, I like it.
No, because like the whole interesting thing about this scene is that Shion doesn't bring up the torture thing at all, and then Rika's like,
right.
"I don't want to be tortured by you."
Yes, you're right. You're right. In terms of Rika's line, it definitely detracts.
Yeah. Well, there you go. There was our punch in.
There we go. That's where all the budget
spent.
went. Although that was also from Mark II, so really it's like, it's whatever, really. It's the same budget from before, just copy-pasted over. Still, it's a good death.
Man, it's going to be hard to get the blood out of that shirt.
Yeah.
It's a good thing that Mion has no other clothes.
Does he cover up with a newspaper? I guess that's going to suck up all the blood.
Is it?
I think that's the plan.
I can't really say I've cleaned up many corpses in my time.
I haven't cleaned up, like, a lot of blood. I feel like tissues is usually my go-to if there's, like, blood everywhere. It's
so bad.
I don't know why. It's just like it feels like a very anime shot, but it has none of the impact.
I know.
Any like motion lines or something. I don't know.
Like one of the key things of the anime style, as far as I've always been aware, is that it's like a very dynamic visual.
Sure.
But there's just nothing dynamic about
There's
that.
no motion. There's no like interesting motion happening.
Yeah.
It's all very simple.
There's also like no fluidity to it. It's very stilted.
It's all lots of cuts. Cuts to like stilted like focus shots and things like that.
Well.
Anyway, we
there
did
we
it.
go.
We made it. We made it almost to the end of Meikashi.
Ugh.
We did it.
What a fun time.
Yeah. I'm enjoying it. Anything else to say before we move on to the finale of Meikashi?
I don't know, like, I feel as though, I mean, as evidenced by how little is in this commentary track of ours, I had the least to say about that of anything so far.
I don't know. I feel like the scenes are more, like, in some ways, like, closer. Like, there's more of the, like, the same dialogue. I definitely think that it slows down, which is nice. Like, the pacing is a little bit more similar. I think that the lack of, as you say, like dynamic animation shows more, especially since we're getting these like, they're just like in buildings, like in the Sonozaki residence, like it is particularly interesting to look at. I don't know, like it just feels like we're going through the motions at this point. I feel is like the best way to put it. We're going through the scenes, but there isn't really a lot of like interesting flair going on. Certainly not anything that we haven't seen already. I think that it's definitely not as interesting to look through from a like, we've seen the VN, now watch the anime perspective.
Yeah.
I think it was fine when I watched it the first time.
I think the other interesting thing is that like a lot of the complaints that I could raise about the visuals and the like aesthetic of the show, I feel wouldn't really be a problem in a like live action show. Like there's a lot of the subtleties of the performances that are just kind of lost.
Yeah, I think they're not really taking advantage of the animation in the ways that they should be. Like my favorite moments I feel like are the like incredibly detailed shots, or the moments in the club games where they have really exaggerated faces and things like that. I think that any time in the show where, particularly during the horror, that they really try to lean into that, we get horseface Shion, right? Like I don't feel like those moments where they try to be as like exaggerated and interesting actually work. I wonder if a different director could have put a bit more of a spin on it. Like, let's get Gen Urobuchi in here. I guess he's more of a writer. I don't actually know. Is he a director and a writer? I know he's a writer.
I'm
point
curious.
Is, get him in here.
We probably want to do it on the show, but I am curious to see how like the live action adaptations have done these sorts of things.
It was a bit awkward. But
yeah, because like from my limited, experience with those live action adaptations, it looks really fucking clunky.
Yep, it was very jank. I know there's a scene in particular where it's Rika like running out to hug Keiichi, but it like they're the same age or like
it looks
I don't know.
Shot like a game show.
Yeah, it doesn't look like the director knew what they were doing at all. It's
the kind of thing where like I mean most of my experience with like this kind of drama and very psychological horror is from like particularly the European and Scandinavian style ones.
Sure.
That do this kind of thing. I don't know if there's actually an abundance of that in Scandinavia or if it's just an abundance of that gets ported to Australian TV, but there definitely feels like there's an abundance of it, and I think that their style of like very cold, slow-paced horror
sure
would very much serve the way that Higurashi is written to some extent.
Yeah, maybe.
Like it'd obviously still need to find some solution to the monologue problem.
I mean, I feel like, maybe this is a personal taste thing, but I just would like to see, in replacement with the monologue scenes, replacement for like these long static situations that we're getting where we just kind of go over the dialogue for the scene. I feel like some more artsy stuff would have been great. Like some like, you know, Shion falls into her mind and she sees like, you know, so she's standing there and he's in a bed of thorns and it's like, but I'll get pricked on the thorns or some, you know, like I don't have anything good right now, but like
I think that's like
I would like to see some of that stuff as just like a 30-second, you know, not soundscape, but the visual version of that, just like this metaphorical like dreamscape thing, just to like represent what's going on.
I kind of agree, but at the same time, that
it doesn't have to be super overblown, but just like
like the way you're describing it is very cheesy. Like I think
I know I haven't got like a good example in my head, but like
I don't know.
I would like to see more of the visual language being used to communicate the themes and communicate what Shion is feeling and thinking. Is what I'm trying to say.
I think that you're imagining it in a very anime context, which is not what I'm doing. What I'm picturing is more like the, I guess, you know, Hollywood style blocking where like when someone uncomfortable is in the scene, you have like things obscuring them in the frame to make it feel like they don't really fit in the scene, and a lot more of the like subtle visual presentation.
Yeah, for sure.
Because in my opinion, when you get like completely on the nose with like, oh, it's a dreamscape with thorns and shit,
look,
like
I like that stuff.
It feels on the nose, and
I mean, it's also like crazy anime shit.
Well, yeah, and I mean, like obviously that's not particularly what I enjoy about things.
Sure.
It's obvious we're coming at it from very different.
I mean, I'm imagining. I know you haven't seen Madoka Magica, but I'm just thinking about the way that show communicates horror. It's even difficult to describe how that show like portrays all the like fucked up characters and situations. But it's just like very abstract art, all of these like collages of monsters and creatures and like faceless forms and things like that. And I really enjoy that sort of artsy stuff. I think that a little bit more of that, like even just the stuff that was in the OP, but like remixed and like brought into the actual show, I think would have helped it greatly.
I agree. In principle,
sure,
but I am imagining your idea of the execution is far less subtle than mine.
Probably. That's fine.
But hey, you know.
The point is, use the visual medium. That's the point that we're like both harping on.
Yeah.
Even if we both, as, you know, if we were both directors of this show, obviously we'd have very different styles. But like the visual kind of half of the show is not being used as well as it should. Like we've been complimenting the sound design at least. Like that's been pretty solid so far, I think. But the animation and the visual nature, like it's not just poorly animated, it's like it's unimaginative.
Yeah. I think the number one thing that could really help this show, just like in a quick run over, would just be color grading. Like,
sure.
In my experience with anime, they're like pretty fucking allergic to color grading. Like this has kind of done it a bit with like, oh, now we're in a yellow light because it's by candle or some shit. But I've rarely, if ever, seen an anime use a color grade as an aesthetic choice rather than like a realistic interpretation.
Sure.
Like if you look particularly at a lot of modern, you know, cinema style production, there's like some really fucking intense color choices going on. Like The Matrix, it's just green. Everything is green.
Yeah.
But you kind of accept it because it's used in a particular way, and then when it cuts out to, you know, outside the Matrix, it's got a much more blue and kind of warm color palette.
Sure.
It, you know, it does something that I really think would be the quickest way to add some, you know, more interesting visuals to this show.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let us know in the comments if any anime shows out there that use color grading in a particularly interesting way. Just off the top of my head, I haven't watched the show, but I know that Monogatari has a lot of weird color stuff going on. It has a lot of those sequences, I think, as well, that I would like to see in this show. There's a lot of like psychological horror stuff going on.
I mean, don't get me wrong, color grading is very hard to use with like cel-shaded animations because one of the reasons color grading works is because of a higher dynamic range, which is why it's become so much more prominent in modern cinema than it used to be.
Right.
So like it doesn't intrinsically work in anime, but I think that this is a show that probably could take advantage of it because it does have a more, you know, toned down visual, where, you know, the colors being slightly off wouldn't stick out as much.
The more like realistic kind of shuffle would be, it would make more sense there.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Well,
Either
there you
way. Next
Color.
time.
Next time.